If you're watching this replay, feel free to skip ahead, I guess about a minute and a half to 2 minutes to get to the content. While you're getting on, let me make sure my technology is working and I'm not just talking to myself, because that has happened. When you pop on, let me know who you are and where you're from so I can say hello to you and push the right buttons at the same time. Morning. And then we'll get this show on the road. Hello, hello. I need to share this out in a couple of my e-com spots. And then we'll get going. Okay, here we go. All right, that's one. And then let me get to another group and then we're going to get going. All right. All right, awesome. Okay, good morning. First, I want to welcome you to the show. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady. I help home business owners win the tax game by keeping more of the money they make and paying less to Uncle Sam in taxes. Today's topic is not necessarily directly a tax topic, but it does affect your business, which affects your taxes, okay? So Amazon is rolling out a new return policy. This is for my Amazon people who sell on Amazon, merchant fulfilled. Okay, I sell on Amazon myself, so this is something that affects me as well. Okay, so starting October 2nd, people who ship their own products, they use Amazon as a selling platform, but they ship their own products, whether from their home or from their own warehouses, are now going to have to abide by Amazon's return policy. Okay, the same policy that Amazon uses is what the merchant fulfilled people are going to have to use now. Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. So that's starting October 2nd. That means that their returns are going to be automatically authorized, which means that the buyer does not have to contact the seller prior to returning an item. They just simply have to go click a button, get a return label, slap that baby on, and send it back. So, if somebody purchases an item and if it arrives damaged or what have you, the buyer no longer has to contact you, even to give you the opportunity to make it right. They just get to send it back. Now, and the other thing that Amazon is introducing is the returnless refunds, which means that it enables the sellers to offer a refund without taking back the item that may be expensive to ship and hard to resell. Well, that already is happening, right? I mean, again, as an e-commerce seller, if somebody contacts me for a refund, I make a decision right then if it's worth them sending back to me, or if I just tell them, if it doesn't work, toss it, right? So what problems does this create? Well, if you've been on e-commerce long enough, you've all had the unscrupulous buyer, right? Where somebody has something shipped to a false address, they get something and then just, I don't think I want it anymore, right? Or, whatever. But nuts and bolts is everybody has been a victim of a fraudster on e-commerce if you've been selling long enough. So people are really concerned with this because it's going to do two things. First, if the customer just automatically gets to send it back, for whatever reason, that's going to make your own shipping expenses go up. And if they don't send the item back, I mean, it's not clear as to who is really going to make that decision if the item is not worth returning. That was good morning. If it's not clear who gets to make that determination, whether the item gets to be returned or destroyed. However, it can create problems with you as the business owner not getting your product back in order to have the opportunity to resell. So you lose the sale itself, and then you lose the product itself. Then you lose the profit that you would make on the product, right? So it's not just this, it's a return. It's how this is happening. So, for Amazon, right? Amazon's got billions of dollars, right? But most people who are merchant fulfilled, their companies are not that big. They're not making a small business, and just for definition's sake, right? So a small business, by definition, is a business that brings in $7 million or less in revenue and has 500 or less employees. Okay, so if you fall in that category, you are a small business. But compared to Amazon as a whole, most small business owners don't have that level of volume to account for excessive returns. Do returns happen? Absolutely. And we have to plan for those. If you look over your numbers over the past year, you look at how many refunds and returns that you had, and you kind of adjust accordingly. But with this new refund policy, a lot of sellers are up in arms because they're saying, okay, this is totally going to screw us. And now this is what the selling point is. It says, these new features allow sellers to reduce time and costs associated with returns while providing customers with an easy and efficient return experience. This is what Amazon is saying. But nuts and bolts is that, ultimately Amazon is trying to please their customers, not necessarily their sellers. Okay. Even though as a seller, okay, let's not forget that we're paying Amazon some whopping fees. All right. Let's be real about that. It's not like Amazon is not making money both ways. Okay. Let's not pretend that's not happening. But, even with this return policy, Amazon also loses money because if a customer returns an item, then they also have to refund our fees as well. But, again, when it comes down to the volume of business that Amazon does, compared to, a small, a mom and pop type person who's selling on Amazon, then, they've got more room for error than we do, right? That's what it boils down to. They've got a lot more money to play with than we do. When you are looking at profit margins of 1%, now look, everybody's profit margin is different. Depending on what you sell, your profit margin is going to be different. You might have a 1% profit margin, and hey, I have sold stuff for like 300% profit margin. Okay, I've done that. But but in the overall volume of things, right? That's what we're talking about. Really talking about volume. That this return policy can really hurt some people. And on the accounting side, okay. On the accounting side, you have to make sure that you account for these losses. If you have products that the returnless refund where you have to give the money back and you don't get the product. So you have to make sure that you account for that in the loss of inventory in your cost of goods sold, because that's going to affect your taxable income as well. So again, you lose the product, you lose the profit, and you've got to account for that in your accounting. Yeah, Pat. Yeah, a lot of things are happening at Amazon, right? They're really expanding. They've expanded into groceries. And yeah, it's, for the regular seller, right? For somebody that's really trying to break into e-commerce, it can be a lot. So, so the takeaway from this is, number one, you need to get a hold of your numbers. You need to look at what your refund rate is, and you need to plan that. Pat says she's afraid to use them. Okay, listen, Pat, let's not be afraid. I don't operate in fear. I believe in operating in being prepared. Okay, so that's why I make it my business to stay on top of this stuff as much as possible. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of changes that happen. I mean, I'll be honest with you, like I sell a lot of books on Amazon. And they just changed to where you have to get approval to sell textbooks. Well, in the process of them changing this approval process, like I didn't even have a lot of textbooks, right? But they marked a good percent of my inventory as textbooks, and it just killed my sales for like a month. It was absolutely insane. And I had to stay on the phone and fight with them until they fixed it. And now my sales are moving again. Okay. But yeah, you got to know what you're dealing with. Okay. Amazon is, they are taking over globally, right? They just moved. As a matter of fact, they are right now about to get in some hot water because they wound up shipping something to an Iranian customer. And there is some kind of sanctions going on with that whole thing. So they're about to pay a fine for that, So, but globally, Amazon is really taking over globally. So is there good money that can be made on Amazon? Absolutely. I would not say that it's not. However, you got to be prepared for whatever it is that you're selling. You've got to, you got to plan for the losses. You really do. Like I said, looking back over your numbers, look at your refund rate, look at your defect rate. I mean, there's a certain item I was selling over the Christmas holidays, right? And I usually sell tons of them, but there was this one item, this same item that I shipped to the same customer, and each time it arrived damaged, right? But instead of that customer just slapping a return label and sending it back to me, he sent me an email and said, hey, this is really a small thing. Can you refund part of my money? And I'll just, super glue this and we'll call it a day. Boom. Okay. That is, we all wish we had customers like that, but the truth is that we don't. Okay. So you have to plan for those losses. So, So, if you're selling merchant fulfilled on Amazon, you really need to look at this return policy. You need to look at your return and your return, your defect rate over the last quarter, over the last year, and you really need to plan for that, because come October 2nd, this return policy is going into action. Okay, that's what it is, and you have to make sure that on an accounting level that you are, making sure that you have these losses annotated correctly. I am not an accountant. Okay, I know a few, but I am not an accountant, just that I know from the tax side that this is part of your inventory and you've got to account for that. Okay, so, I really hope this helps you out. Share this with some, with somebody that may be selling merchant fulfilled on Amazon, because with all the darn emails Amazon sends out, you just might have missed this one. Okay, for real. Because they send out a ton. Okay, so that's it for me, you guys. I really hope you have a fantastic day. Hope you got some good information. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my live notifications. And hey, if you're not on my fan page, go over there, Home Biz Tax Lady. Find me on Facebook, like my fan page, because I'm going to be doing more live broadcasts from over there. Okay, so thanks so much for tuning in. Gotta go. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.